What's going on YouTube? Gabriel say, aka The Truth. Welcome back to another Teach Me Tuesday. Here's my top 6 mistakes that I made. These are mistakes that I want to pass to you because I don't want you to make the same mistakes. The first one, which a lot of you are probably doing now, is avoiding leg day. I avoided leg day like the plague. Putting weight on your back is not appealing when you first start training. Pushing weight away from you like bench press so you get the chest that girls can see, that's more appealing, right? But legs is the foundation of any decent physique. In a number of things, it helps your bench, it will helps a lot of different exercises. When I decided to actually start training legs, I started using the Smith machine. Joke thing, that's probably one of my biggest regrets because my legs are long in anyway. So you know, like people with short legs, their legs fill out really quickly. They could do like squats for like 2 days and they've got massive legs because there's not as much to fill. So I'm already in a disadvantaged position and I put myself in an even more disadvantaged position by not doing it. So just take it from me, please, just start. Number 2 was ego lifting. This was me all over. When I realized that I had like a decent strength for my size, ego lifting was the thing. It was so bad. It's probably the reason for most of my injuries. Quarter squat gang, that was me. Flared elbows on the bench press, that was me. Bouncing the weight on the leg press, that was the worst one. That was the worst. Like, all right, so you know that thing that I think is ridiculous now, and it just looks really stupid when people put they put all the weights on the leg press, and then they're like, oh, there's not enough weight. Oh, and then they go and they say, oh, Jimmy, come and stand on it. That was me. So I put all the weights on, and it was one of those leg presses that kind of moved in an arc like that, as opposed to straight up and down. And got my friend sat on it, and my friend Brutho's like not massive anyway, and then I'm bouncing it off the rubber bits, and then they're like, making all this noise and stuff. Yeah, the girls are looking, but I don't know actually what they're thinking. They're probably like, what a moron. It didn't help anything. When I started to come away from that, that's when I saw the real development in my speed, my strength, and everything else, and just development of my physique and less injuries. Oh, and my deadlift was no legs or back, pulling straight from my back. I'm surprised my spine didn't go. There you have it. I don't know. Number 3 was not eating properly at all. Like I've said in previous videos, like my transformation videos, that we would have like a tuna sandwich and like meal deal and think that's a good post-workout meal. But in my head at that time, I was thinking I need to hit the anabolic window, the 30-minute anabolic window, which for you guys that don't know, that's complete BS. Absolute BS. It's been proven it's BS. I have to get my anabolic window. So then I've eaten like rubbish or hardly eaten the whole day. And then because I've got my meal in that anabolic window, I'm meant to grow. And then the other thing was supplements. I'm then thinking, oh, well, if I hit my anabolic window and then I have creatine and I have protein powder, of course I'll grow. No, it doesn't work like that. You need to have a certain amount of calories that are accustomed to you that you have to hit and eat throughout the day. So like as a beginner, I wish I just eat a lot. Like it was hard for me to keep weight on, so I just needed to eat a lot. Even if you've just started and like you're skinny fat, build muscle. Just eat and build muscle. Don't cut, build muscle, because that is the main thing when it comes to this whole game. The whole point of it is to build muscle, to then cut to show muscle. So yeah, food was definitely a terrible one for me. Number 4, I still see people doing it now. Training for your 1 rep max every single flipping session. I'd come in and I'd be like, oh, I didn't, like this is when I was trying to break like the 100 kilo bench mark, and I was like on like 95 or something, and I'll be like, oh, hit 95, and then I'll go for 100 and then fail. And then the next session I'll be like, hit 95 and go for 100, and then I fail. And then the next session I'm like, but there's no like progress. There's no even like any growth in terms of, okay, so I'm gonna do this, and then I'll do this week, which was a slight progression, and then this week a slight progression. It's just like jump, and it was like trying to do it, and my body's not recovered, and then trying to do it again, and body's not. You can't test your 1 rep max all the time, and I see it happen in every gym I go to, every single gym, there's at least 2 or 3 people that you see trying the same weight and failing the same weight every week. You need to have a structure of progressive overload, periodization, a reason for why you're training a certain way to assist you to then break those PBs. Virtually impossible to hit PBs constantly every week, all the time. You might have one run where you've like done a lot of periodization and all of a sudden you're just like bang, 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 and then you start seeing a strength. But then it hits a point where it just stops. You need to rethink, what do I do now? And then grow again. Number 5 kind of leads on from number 4 is I didn't track any of my weights for any of my lifts. The mistake that comes from this is if I go and bench, I don't know, to say like now, I go and do 140 kilos for, I don't know, 8 reps, kind of average for me. I don't write that down. I come back the next week and I'm like, rah, bearing in mind, that's a week, unless you're doing like two times a week and stuff like that, even 2 times a week, you come back for the next session and you're like, rah, what weight did I do last time? You're sitting there racking your brain, and it's like, I think it was 140 for 5. So you do 140 for 5. You've just regressed yourself. I said in another video, you're stealing your own gains. You're your own gains thief. When you write things down, you can then see the progress and you can visually see everything, and it just, 1, helps you know that you are progressing, and 2, gives you a boost to kind of fuel you and give you that kind of like, And number 6 is not realizing that genetics plays a massive part in everything. And I'm not just talking about, you know, muscle building. I'm talking about the structure of people's anatomy. So, you know, if someone was to compare my forearm length to someone else's, it would be different, which means like my forearm length is quite long, which makes my arms long, which makes my deadlift good. I was comparing myself to another bodybuilders in Bristol. This is when I was in Bristol. There's a guy called, what was his name? I can't remember. He owns a gym called Ministry of Fitness in Bristol. Tom Blackman, I think. And he's a short guy, very strong, very well built, and he had like short legs. So his legs just exploding out of the like seams and shit. His calves were like, my calves are like, and my legs are like, so, what was that? So I'm not gonna get the same results as someone who has that kind of anatomic build. Is it anatomic? That even makes sense. I was comparing myself to all these people and then almost getting disheartened at points, and I'm like, oh, whatever, you know, it just doesn't work. Oh, he must be taking this. Oh, it must be creatine. Oh, he can afford creatine. No, there's just certain things that you just can't achieve by looking at someone else. You have to stay in your own lane and realize the development that you're making and see how you can maximize your development. Or watch people who are similar to you, but don't compare. But that's it. I hope this kind of like sheds some light on the fact that 1, everyone starts somewhere, and 2, don't make these mistakes. You know, you've been told now, so just don't make the mistakes. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'm out. Peace.
Whipping excursion.
Gotta pick at that person.
In the trap, whipping that working. You're not a gangster, you're just an internet version.